Hey, howdy. It is welcome to Move Early, Move Often. It is Functional Friday. I am Blake Martin. My co-host, the uh, effervescent, ebullient, nay, barely the erudite Thomas Karakolis, somewhere in Toronto doing things, keeping it real. I know he is. So today, Functional Friday, we're going to be doing a little bit of quadrupedal movement. It's one of those things that we start when we're little people and we kind of give up partway through life. Sure, it's efficient moving on two legs, but it's great to know how to move on all four limbs as well. It develops core strength. It allows us to move our limbs independently of our torsos. And all these things are great for overall functional movement and having a good movement repertoire. We're going to get right at it. We're going to do a little warm up and then we're going to do three different functional movements. And we're going to be doing them side to side. So lateral functional movement, a little bit different than we might otherwise do. So I'm going to make sure that there's not too much beeping from this little device here, and we're going to get going. All right, so join me standing up here. We're just going to do some wrist circles because we are going to be on our hands. So wrist circles, 2, 3, 4. Nice big circles, 6, 7, 8. Other direction, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we'll do the same thing with our arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gentle leg swings because we are going to be using our hip flexors and our quads. We just kind of want to get a little bit of synovial fluid moving around in the hip joints. 8, and opposite leg. A little bit of spider stomping. And in, out. We'll do in, 4 on each side. Other leg. Out and in. And now we'll just take our hands and we're just going to take our hand and we're going to pull our fingers backwards, not too hard. Then that's an Aikido move. That's not, don't do that to yourself. It's not nice. All the way back. And then same thing going downward. That also can be an Aikido move. Yeah. For those of you who are keeping score at home. And then the other hand. Here we go. And then downward. All right. So in our normal quadrupedal stance, what we do is we come on our hands and knees here. We have a nice neutral spine. The chin is slightly tucked and long, and we just lift our knees off the ground. So you may want to do that right away. Just come into your hands and knees and come into your quadrupedal stance. Then what I'd like you to do is practice a bear walk. So alternating hands and feet coming forward toward your camera, and then try moving away from the camera, alternating hands and feet. Okay, and do that again forward. And what I want you to notice is how it's not even. All right, they don't move at exactly the same time. There's a little slight alternating pattern. And back again. We're just going forward and back. Just to recall quadrupedal movement. Okay. Again, we're keeping our knees very close to the ground here, like this. Okay. Step 2. Step 2. Step numero dos. Okay. What we're going to do next is we're going to do this from side to side. And what we'll do is just watch for a second. We'll come up into our stance. And you're going to step out with your back foot first, and then you'll just kind of shuffle over. Try stepping out with the back foot first, keeping the knees very close to the ground. All right, and when you need a rest, you just put your knees on the ground, You take your hands off the ground, okay? So let's do that all together, coming into the quadruped position. Toes on the ground. We are in bare feet for this. Knees just off the ground, and start with the back foot. And moving sideways a few steps, and then move away from the camera. Start with the back foot. That kind of helps get the whole party started. And we'll just go side to side a few times. And back again. And the other way. And just keep going here. We're just going to keep going for about a minute total. And that will be plenty. Trust me. And back again. All right, take a pause. Okay, so a couple things I want you to notice. I want you to notice that your hands and your feet start syncing up eventually. And that's not bad. I mean, don't be afraid of it. It's actually going to be quite natural. So you'll have this kind of 2 hands and 2 feet moving at the same time, and that's okay. But if you are having trouble leading off, always quite easy to start with the rear foot. Okay, so let's just do that again. A couple of paces back and forth, okay? So you'll notice that your opposite hand and foot are very closely linked. They're not exactly the same, but they're closely linked. All right, great. Just take a little pause there. So now we're going to do a variation on that, and it's a little more complex. And no panic, we're going to do it together, and it's going to be fine. What we're going to do is we're going to reach in between our hands and legs. So we're going to go so that your foot and your hand pass in between, and open, and in between, and open. Coming back the other way, you need to broaden out that stance. You're going to go in between, and open, and in between, and open. So we're reaching through, and we're trying slightly different motor patterning. Our knees are higher off the ground here. Okay, and we're crossing over the midline with our hands. So give that a couple of tries. Let's do that together. So passing through the midline, and then passing back, coming across the midline. Across the midline. So your legs have to be a little bit higher here, and across the midline. All right. So that is a slightly different motor patterning. You have to do things in a varied form. And I find that actually a little more tiring. So let's give that a couple more tries. Need to be a little bit higher. Step across, and open, across, and then you're crossing and opening, crossing and opening. I'm very close to the camera there. And back again. I almost stumbled there, but luckily I'm on 4 paws, so I didn't fall. All right, last variation. We're going to do rotations. So the patterning is again different. Your hands will be moving clockwise, and your feet will be moving clockwise. So it's just going to be a chasing movement. And again, for this one, I want you to bring your knees down nice and close to the ground. And we're going to just chase. Your hands will chase your feet, and your feet will chase your hands. And you're going to rotate completely around in one direction. We'll make a full rotation in one direction, and then a full rotation in the opposite direction, just going back and forth. We'll do that 4 times, like 2 on each side, and we'll take a little pause. All right, nice neutral stance, knees off the ground, and let's go. Going all the way around, keeping your knees close to the ground, in opposite direction. Nice neutral spine. Your neck is long. And when you reach the front, turn back around, go the other direction. All right. And pause when you get back to the front. Good. All right. So we're going to do that in combination. We're going to do 4 regular sideways ones, forward, 4 regular sideways ones back, 4 crossing over, sideways, 4 back, crossing over, crossing through, 4 rotating clockwise, alternating clockwise, 1, 1, 1, 1. All right, so here we go. We'll start here, so it's going to be 4 steps. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Crossing. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're 1 very close. 1, 2, 3, 4. Crashing the couch. Rotating. 1. And clockwise. 2. Anti-clockwise. 3. Clockwise. And 4. Anti-clockwise. All right. That's kind of a full meal deal of an activity. We'll come up, hands behind the back. Just open up the chest. It was working really hard there, your pectorals and your horizontal flexors. And take that arm behind the head. Nice. Yeah, nice little stretch here. And then opposite arm behind the head. And our quads worked really hard there too, so we'll give those guys a little stretch. And to stretch your quads, because they're knee extensors, we're going to bring our knee into extreme flexion and match our knees together side by side in the sagittal and coronal planes. And I'm going to pull my heel towards my buttocks to get a really good quad stretch there. I'm going to raise my hand, and that's going to get into my hip flexors too a little bit, depending on which flexor. Yeah. And then let go of that leg and opposite leg. Now I'll turn around so you can see what I'm up to. Matching your knees. And bring the heel really in close to the butt. And raise the arm. Nice tall stretch. And calming breaths. All right. Excellent. You know, these quadrupedal movements, they're great for scrambling. They're meaningful in a lot of different martial arts and in parkour movements and just general life. You know, we can expect to find ourselves on the ground at least part of the time. And they're great for just kind of transitional movements from jump landings to running and from scrambling across a surface and moving onward. So great to practice. I hope you enjoyed your practice with me today. We've moved early. I hope you remember to move often. And I hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you back on Monday for Momentum Monday. Take care and have a great weekend.